Have you ever felt completely frozen, nervous, or just stuck when trying to speak English out in the real world?
We totally know that feeling of panic when the English words just disappear from your brain. Welcome back to the Daily English Loop, the podcast where learning English is always easy, very natural, and incredibly fun. I'm Alex.
And I'm Lisa. Today, we're skipping the boring grammar rules. Instead, we're giving you a master list of daily survival phrases.
These are the exact natural sentences native speakers use all the time to keep conversations going smoothly. They'll help you unlock conversations, make new friends, and easily get out of awkward situations.
Let's jump right in, Alex. What's our first situation?
Well, let's start with a classic problem. Imagine you're in a super loud place, like a busy coffee shop downtown. The barista asks you a question, but the espresso machine is grinding beans. The music is loud, and you hear absolutely nothing. Instead of just nodding and guessing, what should you say?
You should use our first essential phrase. Could you please repeat that? It's such a lifesaver.
It really is. It's so much better than just saying what, which can sound a little bit rude. Saying, "Could you please repeat that?" shows the other person that you're actually listening, but you just missed the words because of the noise.
Exactly. And sometimes the problem isn't the noise. Sometimes you just need a little bit of guidance. Just yesterday, I was in this huge new supermarket trying to find a specific brand of matcha green tea. I was completely lost in the aisles.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Did you wander around for an hour?
Nope. I walked right up to a worker and used our next phrase. Can you help me, please?
Perfect. It's polite, it's direct, and it gets you exactly what you need. "Can you help me, please?" is great for stores, airports, or train stations. But what if someone is trying to explain something to you, maybe giving you directions, and their English is just way too advanced or fast?
That happens to language learners all the time. Don't panic, just smile and say, "I'm sorry, I don't understand." People are usually very nice and will try to use simpler words.
Right, and you can follow that up immediately with another great phrase. "Could you explain it again?" This is a fantastic combination. "I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you explain it again?" It takes all the pressure off you and lets the other person know they need to clarify.
I love that. Honesty is always the best policy. Okay, moving on to something a bit more fun. Let's talk about meeting new people and being polite.
My favorite topic. Let's say you go to a party and a friend introduces you to someone new. What's the very first thing that should come out of your mouth?
You definitely want to give a big smile and say, "Nice to meet you." It's the gold standard for introductions. It instantly creates a warm and positive vibe.
It really does. It sets the tone for a friendly chat. And speaking of friendly vibes, we have to mention the two most important phrases in the entire English language. Can you guess what they are, Lisa?
Oh, that's easy. Thank you and you're welcome.
Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. They seem so basic, but they're incredibly powerful. I always say thank you when the barista hands me my morning coffee. It shows respect.
And when someone says thank you to you, saying you're welcome is the perfect way to accept their gratitude. It completes the circle of politeness. Now, here's another polite phrase that's incredibly useful, especially if you live in a crowded city. Excuse me.
Oh man, I use excuse me at least 10 times a day. If I'm on the subway and need to get off but someone is blocking the door, I just say, "Excuse me." It's a polite way to ask someone to move.
It's also great for getting someone's attention. If a waiter walks past your table and you need a napkin, a quick "excuse me" works perfectly. You can even use it if you accidentally step on someone's toe. It's a multitasking phrase.
It really is the Swiss Army knife of English phrases. All right, let's shift gears a bit. We've covered everyday social situations, but what about at work? Sometimes the language we use in a professional setting needs to be a little more polished.
That's a great point, Alex. Let's imagine you're working at a creative design agency. You're struggling with a new software program, and you really need your manager to show you how to do something. "Can you help me" is okay, but is there a better way to say it?
Yes, if you want to sound really professional and respectful, you can say, I need your assistance. For example, you could walk up to your manager's desk and say, Excuse me, I need your assistance with this software.
Oh, that sounds very professional. It shows that you take your job seriously. And what if you are in a big team meeting? Your boss is talking about a complex new marketing strategy, and you're feeling a little bit confused about the details.
You definitely don't want to just sit there in silence. You should raise your hand and say, Could you explain that in more detail? This is a brilliant phrase. It doesn't make you look like you weren't paying attention. Instead, it makes you look smart, curious, and eager to learn more.
I completely agree. Now, after your boss or your colleague takes the time to help you or explain things, how do you thank them professionally?
Instead of a simple thank you, you can level up your professional vocabulary by saying, I appreciate your assistance. It's a very gracious and classy way to show your gratitude in an office environment.
Beautifully said. Now, here's a common workplace problem. What if you're on a phone call with an international client and they're just talking incredibly fast? Your brain can't keep up with their words.
I've been there. I usually take a deep breath and politely say, Could you please speak more slowly? Native speakers often forget how fast they're talking. When you say this, they'll usually apologize and happily slow their pace. Communication is a two-way street.
So true, Alex. Now, let's talk about timing. Sometimes you need to say something, but two of your colleagues are already deep in conversation. You don't want to be rude, but you need to ask a quick question.
That's a delicate situation. You can't just shout your question. The best thing to do is gently approach them and say, May I interrupt you for a moment?
Yes, may I interrupt you for a moment is incredibly respectful. It acknowledges that they're busy, but calmly asks for permission to speak.
Speaking of the office, scheduling is a huge part of work. Let's say we're planning our next recording session for the podcast. You suggest we record at night, but I'm usually exhausted by then. How can I politely tell you I want a different time?
You'd express a preference. You could say, I'd prefer to meet in the morning.
Exactly. By adding I'd prefer, it doesn't sound like a strict demand. It sounds like a polite suggestion and opens the door for a friendly negotiation.
I like mornings anyway, so that works for me. But what if we agree on a Tuesday morning and then suddenly my car breaks down and I can't make it to the studio? I need to change our plans.
Life happens. In that case, you'd call me and say, Could we reschedule our appointment? It's a simple, clear, and very common way to ask to move a meeting to a different day or time.
And because I caused the change, I should probably apologize, right?
Yes, an apology goes a long way. A really formal and polite way to do this is to say, I apologize for the inconvenience. This is a great phrase for customer service, too. If a flight is delayed, the airline staff will often say exactly that.
It shows empathy. And if the mistake was really big, let's say I accidentally deleted our entire podcast audio file for the week, I'd need something stronger. I'd say, please accept my sincere apologies.
Oh, wow. If you deleted the whole episode, you definitely need to buy me a lot of coffee. But yes, please accept my sincere apologies is a heartfelt, deeply respectful way to say you're truly sorry for a major mistake. It shows you take full responsibility.
Don't worry, I always back up our files. Okay, let's move to something lighter. Asking people to do things for you. In the business world, we share a lot of documents. How do I politely ask for a file?
You want to use a soft request. Instead of saying, give me the file, which is too aggressive, you should say, could you send me the report? For example, could you send me the report before lunch? It's polite, but still gives a clear deadline.
That makes sense. And if the task is a bit bigger, like, let's say I'm redesigning the artwork for the channel, and I need you to check the colors and the text.
If you need someone to actively put in time and effort, a wonderful phrase is, "Would you mind helping me with this task?" It's so considerate. It gives the other person the feeling that they have a choice, which makes them much more likely to say yes.
I love using "would you mind." It just sounds so soft and friendly. Now, after you help me with that artwork, and it looks absolutely amazing, I want to make you feel good about your work. I want to give you a compliment.
Compliments are the best. A simple and powerful phrase is, "You did a fantastic job." If a coworker finishes a tough project, just walk by their desk and say, "Hey, you did a fantastic job on that." Watch their face light up.
It really does boost morale. Another beautiful compliment, especially for creative people, is, "I admire your creativity." If someone comes up with a brilliant new idea for a podcast topic or paints a beautiful picture, this phrase is perfect.
That's a great one. Finally, let's talk about offering help to other people. If I see you carrying 3 heavy boxes of tea into the studio, I shouldn't just watch you struggle.
Please don't. I'd drop everything.
Exactly. So I'd rush over and say, "Can I assist you with anything?" It's a proactive, kind way to offer your energy to someone who looks busy or overwhelmed.
It's such a nice feeling when someone offers to help. And if you aren't sure if they need help right in that exact moment, you can leave the door open by saying, "Let me know if you need any help."
Yes, "let me know if you need any help" is amazing because it gives the other person space. It says, "I'm here for you when you're ready."
Wow, Alex, we've covered so much ground today, from noisy coffee shops to office meetings to helping each other out. These phrases really are the building blocks of natural, confident English.
They really are. And that officially wraps up today's episode of the Daily English Loop. We highly encourage you to take just 2 or 3 of these phrases and try using them in your real life this week. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we all learn.
Absolutely. If you found this episode helpful, or if you have a funny story about trying to use one of these phrases, please leave us a comment on our podcast platform. We love hearing from our global learners.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Keep practicing. The more you speak, the more natural it'll feel. Until next time, goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone. See you in the next loop.